Okay, anybody that's ever looked at any of my videos will know that I'm a big fan of these cheap little air pencil die grinders. These are the little air die grinders that you can buy for about $30 off of eBay, and in my opinion they're one of the most useful and irreplaceable tools that you can actually have in your workshop. They can do jobs that nothing else can do. Now, here's a good example I'll show you today of just where a little air die grinder can be invaluable. Now, what happened is I've got a knurl here. That's just a scissor type knurl, and I wanted to change the pitch of the knurl. I wanted to go to a heavy one, so I ordered in some knurls from China, and here's one of them. It's a much coarser pattern. It's supposed to be the exact size to fit the knurl I've got. So I knock out the pin, which is what you do to change a knurl. You just knock out the pin. They've got a little set of splines on one end which hold them in. So take it out, out comes the knurl. Now the new knurl was supposed to be the same diameter, which it is, 19mm. The hole's supposed to be the same. Looks similar, but a bit smaller, I thought. So I get the pin, go to put it in the hole, and it won't fit. So when they made this Chinese knurl, even though it's made out of really good hard stuff, the hole's undersized just slightly. So what are you going to do? Well, obviously, there's only two things. There's only one thing you can really do. You can't reduce the pin or make a pin up a smaller diameter, because then it won't fit in the knurl. So there's only one option. You've got to machine the centre hole out bigger, slightly bigger. Okay, how do you do it? Well, this is damn hard stuff, and there's no way a drill is going to look at that. So this is a job where your pencil type die grinder, as I said, is indispensable. And what we'll do is we'll use the little pencil die grinder with a diamond burr in it. You can buy these diamond burrs very, very cheaply. You can get a heap of them for peanuts, really. And these will go through the hardest of materials. So we're going to use the little pencil die grinder, little air die grinder, as a tool post grinder in the lathe, and we're going to grind out that hole big enough that the pin will go through it. So I'll show you how that goes in the next part of the clip, so stay tuned. Right, well now here we are at the lathe. I've got the knurl sitting in the jaws of the chuck. So all we have to do now is grind out the centre a little bit, and we're good to go. So first thing we do is we fit the little die grinder in our simple little mount we've got, which goes in the four-way. Okay, just line it horizontally, everything's locked. Bring it in, that's in your centre position there. So basically all we have to do now is start up the lathe, start up the die grinder, and then bring back the cross slide until it makes contact, and then work it in and out a few times while the chuck's turning. And every so often we'll check it with our pin, make sure we get it to a point where the pin will go through. So basically when you do this, you make sure you work your little burr in and out, because you can't just wind it back against the flat of the burr, because you may get some flex in the shaft. These are only a 3mm shaft, so by working it in and out that way, any flex is taken care of, and you should get a nice concentric and parallel hole through the very hard material. So we'll do it now. It'll be noisy, so I won't do any more commentary for a little while. You can just watch and see it working. So here we go. There you go, perfect. That's all it took. Just enough to just skim out the inside of that, and that pin goes in, and it's just a nice fit. You wouldn't want to go any more than that. As I said, this is undersized, the hole was undersized on this, but that's all it took, just 1 or 2 passes through with a diamond burr, and that's enough to open up that hole enough that you can now put your knurl back together and you're good to go. So once again, little pencil air die grinder, indispensable. One of the most useful things you can have in a workshop, particularly as you can do things like this, which you couldn't possibly drill that with a drill. That stuff is so hard, the drill would just jam up and smash. It wouldn't go through that. So the only thing that will machine that is carbide or carborundum, and in this case, or diamond rather. So any of those materials will machine this. In this case we've used a diamond burr, and it's done it in a matter of seconds. Otherwise you'd be totally stuffed. So there you go, 30 bucks, make up a little clamp, goes in your 4-way or whatever you've got. Even a lantern tool post holder, it will just go straight in if you put a couple of little rests top and bottom on it, so you can use them in any sort of a tool mount, and they can do jobs nothing else will come close to doing. So there you are, 30 bucks of money well spent. Get yourself one. See you next time.